Hi, today we'll be discussing metals and non-metals. All the matter around us in the world, be it solid, liquid, gas, is made of primary elements. All elements can be divided into metals and non-metals. So what do we mean by metals and non-metal, and what is the difference between two of them? So first is metal. As we see them in our everyday life, like copper, steel, aluminum, all these are metal. And there are non-metals like carbon. Carbon can be in the form of coal, graphite, or sulfur. So these are non-metals. All metals and non-metal have their physical properties, chemical properties, which are typical to metal and non-metal. So first we will discuss physical properties. So first physical property of metal, we will say that they are lustrous. They have a certain shine. If you take any steel piece, iron piece, and rub it with the emery paper, you will see that there is a certain shine on them. So that is a very basic quality of all the metals. On rubbing, grinding, you will see that surface shines. It has an inherent luster in them. Then second physical property of metal is malleability. If we hammer or beat like aluminium or steel, all the different shapes can be formed. Steel, like we see in different form. Copper, like we have bought in the form of bottle, in the cup, in the form of plate, all the tools. So copper can be formed into in different forms. Similarly, aluminum and steel can also be formed in different. Then next quality is the ability to be drawn into wire. That ability is called ductility. So all the metal have very good ductility. The best ductility is that of gold. 1 gram of gold can be drawn into 2 kilometer of wire. Similarly, so different ornaments can be made with gold, and similarly with a silver which has lesser ductility than gold but more ductility than other metal. It can also be used to make other jewelries and crockeries and other items. Even iron is ductile, so it can be drawn in the form of wire, in the form of rod, in the form of plate. So because of this ductility, the, the steel can also be drawn into different shapes. And two more qualities of any metal is they are good conductor of heat and electricity. If you see that if you all the saucepan in which you make tea or heat up your milk, so they are made of normally aluminum. So when you heat, they transfer the heat of the source is transferred to the things which is being heated. So they are good transfer of heat. And similarly, all the wirings in your house either made of copper or aluminum. You have you when you see see that sheath of plastic PVC on it, but that is for the insulation, so that if you touch it you don't feel the current. But inside that sheath there is copper or aluminum wire which carries the current. So all the metals are good conductor of heat and electricity. So this we discussed about physical properties. Beside physical, there are chemical properties. Chemical properties of metal and non-metal are decided by their reactivity. If we arrange all the metals, non-metal, noble gases, which we also call inert gases, in a series in the decreasing amount of reactivity, then that is called activity series. So all the noble gases or inert gases like argon, helium, so they have saturated electron distribution in their shells. So when they are saturated, they are very less reactive, in the presence of oxygen or in any other reactive material, they don't react at all. Then there are metals. Metals have free electron in their outer shell. It may be one or two, like in the case of copper, aluminum, iron. There are, it's like two free electrons are there, which makes them reactive. So whenever they come in touch with oxygen or chlorine, or so they lose those electrons to the non-metals. So this free electrons increases their reactivity. So depending on this reactivity and how they are placed in the reactivity series, the metal sourcing from the ores is also decided. Like all the ores from which metals are extracted, they are either heated in the presence of oxygen, or sometime electrolysis to be done, or in the presence of hydrogen they are heated. So accordingly the metal extraction is done from the ore. So this is how we extract metal from the ore. So this is that. And all the best, hope you understand this. And if any queries, you can ask. Thank you.